Consider offering a summer workshop for your students this year. Here are 17 quick ideas for you to choose from. Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. In this video, I'm compiling my most successful workshops, classes, camps, and competitions that you can try with your piano students. First, let's throw out some workshop ideas. When I say workshop, I just mean a class that happens one time only. You could offer a rhythm workshop. I usually do this for my younger kids. We form a drum circle, we do a little bit on the piano, but we focus mainly on rhythm. And I usually like to take a popular hit song or movie soundtrack and use those songs as the basis for the syncopated rhythm ensemble that we're gonna put together. A music history workshop. This could be a one-time class where you go through maybe the history of jazz music or how rock and roll came to be about. Along with that, you could have a music appreciation workshop where you could focus on how to really listen to music, what to listen for, and how to recognize patterns, similar chord progressions, and you can just tailor this to the age group that signs up for your class. A composition workshop is also a great idea. I like to use my Compose with Dice game for a one-time workshop because they can actually construct an entire melody so they have a complete song by the end of like a 1-hour workshop. I have a bunch of different themed Compose with Dice sets. If you're interested, I'll link those down in the description. And then finally, I always give a workshop. For me personally, I do a crochet workshop, but if you have a special skill, even if it is totally unrelated to piano, consider throwing it out there and see if anyone's interested. One year I just thought, hey, kids might like to learn how to crochet. And so I put it on the list of summer options and it sold out and it sold out and it sold out a third time. I taught that workshop 3 times that summer with a full living room full of kiddos who wanted to learn how to crochet. And now everybody asks for it every year. So get creative and think outside of the box. I think parents are looking for activities for their kids to do over the summer. That's just something new. So it doesn't necessarily have to be music related. So let's talk about classes. These could happen like every week throughout the summer, or it could just be 2 or 3 workshops that are combined into a series of classes. A guitar class or a ukulele class is a really good thing. These instruments are easier to teach in a group setting, so I like to have a small group of beginning guitarists or people who have never played guitar before or ukulele. I'm not a master on these instruments, and so that's why I like to offer them as a summer class, because I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable charging people money for long-term private lessons on these instruments because I'm not a total expert on them, but I have enough experience to get them going in a beginner's class. I have 2 curriculums for composition that I've created that work better on like a week-to-week class basis, like maybe 3 or 4 times we meet. One is called Compose Cut and Paste, where students are literally choosing what the next measure will be based on a few choices, and they are cutting it out and pasting it onto their final song. So this is a really like fun and crafty way to put a song together, and they don't feel overwhelmed because it's kind of already done for them, but they're still getting to make creative decisions. And another curriculum I created was Let's Compose, and that is where a group of students actually writes a song as a group. So the entire group is writing one song. So the curriculum has a teacher playing different options, and then the group votes on, are we going to do this part soft? Are we going to do this part loud? Are we going to do this version of the left-hand pattern? Are we going to do this version of the left-hand pattern? And so on. So all together as a group, we put the song together. And the great thing about this is that we are learning about all the different components of music and how to compose a song on their own if they want to take that next step after the class is done. Improvisation works well for a short-term class as well because you can build from week to week. You could try different styles of improvisation. You could do left hand and then right hand on the next week, or you could just level up each week. Lead sheets is another one that you could do a class on. Start simple and then build on it, or try different genres of lead sheets. Chords is another class that I love to teach. Anyone who wants to play pop music has to know chords. Broadway, you have to know chords. Jazz, you have to know chords. Classical, you have to know chords. Everybody knows that they need to know chords, and they want to know more about how they all work. And so sort of a theory/technique short-term class just focus on chords can be a really big big hit with students as well. And then you could just have a general music theory class. So this could be where a group of similar age, similar level students get together. You talk about a new music theory concept, or you review music theory together. Maybe you play some games together, have some worksheets or activities. So that could be a really fun summer offering as well. Okay, next we're going to get into camps. Before I list the camp ideas I have for you, hit that like button if you like Piano Teacher studio ideas and you want to see more content like this video. So camp ideas. Camp is different than class because a camp, they're going to come daily for a week. So this can be more intensive. You see them for a few hours every day and you're going to see them in consecutive days. So you can really get a lot done. My most successful camp that I have offered is my composition boot camp. Notice there's a lot of composition here. I really like teaching composition. My composition boot camp is where students come for 4 or 5 hours every day, Monday through Friday, and they are putting together 3 different projects from start to finish. So one of them is harmonizing a melody, one of them is doing an arrangement of an existing tune, and then one of them is their from scratch original. They're taking it from their fingers to a full engraved published work. So we work a lot with MuseScore and how to score music as well, all those details. And so it's really intensive, it's really fun, and the students love it. Another camp you can offer would be a performance camp. So let's address all things performing. Students can work on memorization skills. They can work on what to do when something goes wrong in a performance, how to overcome performance anxiety, performance etiquette, and all things related to that. You could have a little mini recital at the end of the camp so that students can try out their new performance skills. Another camp that I have done successfully is a science behind piano sort of camp. So there's a lot of things you can do with the science of acoustic, little science experiments and stuff like that. One time I had a week-long camp, and then on Friday we actually visited a piano store and we got a tour, and like they had all the parts of the piano taken apart. So we got to really see how the piano works and talk about all of the science behind that. It was really fun. Okay, and the last category is competitions. I've really only done one competition entirely on my own, a curriculum that I made up myself, and that is the Piano Olympics. But we do it, well, every year sort of, but every other year seriously. So this is a big deal that kind of takes up the entire summer. The Piano Olympics, students are picking their events, so they could pick theory, technique. You could even do it where they are learning a certain genre of songs to perform at the end of the summer. But in any case, they are being coached by their piano teacher throughout the summer. And then at the end of the summer, there's their event day where they're going to have their final test or their final performance, whatever it might be. And then they will be scored, and there'll be a first place, second place, third place winner, and we'll have an award ceremony. So the Piano Olympics is a very motivating way to get students, especially to get them to do their theory homework and also to practice their scales, arpeggios, and all those technical skills. They get really motivated to hone in on those with the Piano Olympics. So those are the ideas I have for you today. I'd love to hear your comments on which one sounds most interesting to you, because if I get a lot of questions about one particular idea, I would be happy to make an entire video about how I run that specific event. So let me know which one interests you the most. And if you want to keep watching, here's a video I made a while back about how I plan out the year and all of the events and where they fall on the annual calendar. And I will see you there.